Why are you still stuck with the same credit debt you had a year ago? Not less, not more, hopefully, but basically the same. You make payments every month, you feel responsible doing it, and somehow the number barely moves. That's not a coincidence, and it's not because you're bad with money. It's because minimum payments are designed to keep you paying forever, and nobody ever sat you down and showed you the order that actually gets you out. I want to tell you about the first time I actually looked at all my cards at once. Not just the one I was worried about that month, all of them, side by side. 4 cards. Different balances, different interest rates, different minimum payments due on different days. And honestly, I'd been avoiding it for months because it felt like it would just confirm how bad things were. Turns out, avoiding it was the actual problem. Once I saw all 4 cards on one page, the path out became obvious in about 10 minutes. Before that, I was just treading water, sending money out every month and feeling like nothing changed because nothing was changing. If that sounds familiar, here's exactly how I got out, step by step. First thing, and I mean before anything else, you need every single card written down in one place, not in your head. Not, I think I owe around 3 grand on that one, written down. Balance, interest rate, and minimum payment for every card. Takes 15 minutes, and I promise you it feels worse before it feels better, because seeing the total number is uncomfortable, but you cannot fix what you refuse to look at directly. Now, here's where people get stuck immediately, because there are 2 competing methods and everyone online argues which one's correct. There's the debt avalanche, where you attack the card with the highest interest rate because mathematically it saves you the most money. And there's the debt snowball, where you attack the card with the smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate. Math people will tell you avalanche is objectively better, and they're not wrong on paper. But here's the thing nobody explains well. Debt payoff isn't actually a math problem, it's a psychology problem that happens to involve numbers. I tried the avalanche method first because it made logical sense to me. I attacked my highest interest card, which also happened to be my largest balance. 4 months in, the balance had barely moved and I quit. Not because the math was wrong, because 4 months of feeling like nothing was happening killed my motivation completely. So I switched to the snowball, and it worked not because it's mathematically superior, it isn't, but because I paid off my smallest card in 5 weeks. 5 weeks! And that first win, actually seeing a card hit 0, did something the spreadsheet math never could. It made me believe this was actually possible. That belief is what carried me through the next 3 cards. So here's exactly how you do it. List your cards' smallest balance to largest, completely ignoring the interest rate for now. Every extra dollar you can find goes toward the smallest balance, while you pay only the minimums on everything else. Not most of your extra money, all of it. That smallest card disappears fast, sometimes in weeks, and when it does, here's the key part, almost nobody explains right. You take that entire payment, the one you were making on the card that's now gone, and you roll it straight onto the next smallest card. You're not just paying minimums plus a little extra anymore, you're paying minimums on everything else, plus your old payment, plus whatever extra you can find, all stacked onto one card. That's the snowball. It grows every time a card dies. Let's make it concrete, because vague advice doesn't help anyone. Say you've got 4 cards, $300, $1,200, $3,200, and $6,800. You find $80 extra a month beyond your minimums. That $300 card is gone in under 4 months. The moment it's gone, that payment, minimum plus your extra $80, rolls onto the $1,200 card. That card, which would have taken forever on its own, suddenly moves fast too. Each card you kill makes the next one die faster. That's why it's called a snowball. It's small at the top and it picks up speed. Now here's the rehook, because I need you to actually hear this part. The biggest reason people fail at this isn't the math and it isn't the method. It's that they don't find the extra money in the first place, so there's nothing to snowball with. You can have the perfect order lined up and it does nothing if there's $0 of extra payment behind it. So before you even start the order, you need to find real money, even a small amount, to feed into that first card. That doesn't mean cutting out coffee for the rest of your life, and it definitely doesn't mean some extreme sacrifice. It means one specific thing: Pick one subscription or one recurring expense you genuinely don't use enough to justify, and cancel it this week. Not think about canceling it. Cancel it today while you're thinking about it, because in 3 days, you won't remember to. Second thing that actually moves the needle is automate the minimum payments on every card except the one you're attacking. This sounds small, but it matters more than people think, because missing one single payment during this process can trigger a penalty interest rate that undoes weeks of progress. Automate the boring stuff so a bad week, a forgotten due date, a busy month doesn't wreck what you've built. Third, and this is the part that actually determines whether this works long-term, figure out why the debt happened in the first place before you finish paying it off, not after. If it was one unexpected expense, a medical bill, a car repair, fine, that's just life. But if it's a pattern, if you're paying off cards while still swiping them for everyday stuff, the snowball becomes a treadmill. You pay off card 1 and card 4 creeps back up while you're not looking. That's not a failure of willpower. That's usually a sign there's no cushion underneath you, no small emergency fund catching the unexpected stuff that used to land on a card. Even $500 sitting there changes this completely. Which brings me to the mistake I made that set me back 2 full months. I paid off my second card, felt amazing about it, and treated myself to something I definitely didn't need, using the card I'd just freed up because I earned it. I did not earn it. I earned a fresh, empty card, and I filled it right back up in 6 weeks. The lesson wasn't never celebrate. The lesson was celebrate with money, not with credit. Take yourself to get a $5 coffee. Don't take yourself shopping with a card that has a 0 balance for the first time in 2 years, because that 0 doesn't last long if you treat it like available money instead of what it actually is, which is a finish line. Put this whole thing together and it looks like this. Write down every card, balance, rate, and minimum in one place. Order them smallest to largest and ignore the interest rate completely. Find real extra money, even a small amount, by cutting one specific thing this week. Automate every minimum payment so nothing falls through the cracks. Attack the smallest balance with everything you've got, and the moment it's gone, roll that entire payment onto the next card. And underneath it all, build even a tiny cushion so the debt doesn't quietly come back while you're celebrating getting rid of it. This isn't fast, I won't pretend it is, but it is simple. And simple is what actually gets followed through on month after month when motivation runs out and you're just going through the motions. That's when a system carries you, not willpower. If you're sitting there right now thinking about your own cards, stop reading and go list them. Actually do it today, not this weekend. Subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down how to build that small emergency fund I mentioned, the one that stops this cycle from repeating once you're finally out. See you then.